Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Ophis fall in love with Issei Sunday special movie. Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video and also share this video with your friends. I have created my other videos playlist, there you can watch my all videos easily, check out as well. And also check previous parts of this what if. Let's start this video. Prologue. The 7-year-old boy walked around a park, his parents close behind him. The boy, named Issei, ran around chasing after a squirrel until he came across a little girl. She was a cute little girl with long straight black hair down to her hips. Her dark gray eyes looked dull and lifeless. She was dressed in a black Lolita dress with a purple ribbon on her back. The most stunning thing about her was her ears, unlike normal ears hers had pointed tips like elves. He walked closer and tried to talk to her. "Are you here by yourself?" The girl remains unmoving, looking at the pond. Issei got in front of her and tried it again. "Hello, I'm talking to you. Are you here with your parents or with your friends?" The girl looked him in the eyes before slowly opening her mouth. "I don't have parents or friends," she answered in a monotonous voice before turning her head away again. "What? That's terrible. Aren't you lonely?" Issei asked, getting even closer. "No, I was alone from the beginning. I don't know what loneliness is." "You were alone from the beginning? That's just hey, why don't we become friends?" the boy said, smiling brightly. The blackhead only tilted her head in confusion. "Come, let's play." Issei took the hand of the girl and walked off with her. She looked at the boy, thinking he was a weird human. He was 7 years old and had short brown hair. His eyes were a light brown with a gentle, innocent look in them. "This boy is strange. I feel something in him. Something similar to me. So what do you want to play?" "I don't know your name." "I'm Ophis," the girl, now known as Ophis, answered short and still monotonously. "Ophis-chan, I'm Issei." All she did in return was give a small nod. "Let's play tag." The boy poked Ophis in the side and started to run. "Come on, try to catch me," he shouted, looking back only to see her nowhere. Thud. Issei landed on his butt because he bumped into someone. "Oh, Ophis-chan." He was surprised to see his new friend in front of him, showing him a victory sign, although her expression didn't change. "I have caught you." "How did you? Awesome, can you show me how you did that?" Issei had sparkles in his eyes and grasped her hands. "I just walked." "That's so cool. Can you teach me to walk so fast?" "I don't mind." The couple of kids trained only Issei for a few hours. The parents of the boy came back to get their son. Since Issei found someone to play with, his parents decided to go to a nearby cafe. "Issei, it's time to go home. You can come back tomorrow." The boy remembered something his friend told him and walked over to the girl. "Ophis-chan, you said you were all alone, right?" "Yes." "Then how about you live with us?" The girl didn't know how to answer. She never expected that there was a human who would want her to be around. "You don't want to?" The boy looked at her with puppy eyes. Ophis didn't understand emotions, but she didn't like seeing Issei like that. "I don't mind." Issei smiled and immediately took her hand, walking hand in hand to his parents. It took him 50 minutes to convince them to let Ophis stay with them, but they agreed anyway. "Issei, dinner will be ready in half an hour. Tell Ophis-chan to take a bath before you." His mother told him this from the kitchen. "Ophis-chan, mom said you should take a bath first." Issei walked up to the girl, who sat on his bed in a Caesar position. All the girl did was tilting her head. "What's wrong?" "Come, I will show you where the bathroom is." The boy grabbed the girl by her arm and guided her through the house. "So, here we are. Mom will bring you a towel later so you can go in." He turned around to leave but was unable to move. He looked back to see the black-haired girl holding his shirt with her left hand. "Ophis-chan?" Issei was worried about her odd behavior. "Issei, what is a bath?" The two of them stood there silently staring at each other. "A bath is something you do to clean yourself." The girl looked at him and tilted her head. "I don't know how you can teach me, Issei." The boy, with a bright red face, ran to his mother with Ophis close behind him. "Mom." The boy was embarrassed and had a crimson red face. "What's wrong, Issei?" "I thought Ophis-chan was already in the bath." About that, Ophis-chan said she doesn't know what to do. His face got even redder, if that was even possible, and his mother looked a little shocked and unsure what to do. "I guess it can't be helped." Issei just goes in with her but doesn't make a mess there. She turned around to give him a few towels and walked away to resume cooking. Issei shouted, quickly turning around to see his mother walking away. "Mom is serious about that." "Issei, will you take a bath with me?" Ophis asked him without changing her expression. "There is no way that you would do something that embarrassing, right?" Issei asked her, getting a bad feeling. "Embarrassing? I don't quite understand." "Let's take a bath together." Ophis said, dragging Issei with her. Why is she so strong? She's dragging me behind her with a single hand. Issei shouted in his mind, unable to break free. 30 minutes passed, and Issei and Ophis came out of the bathroom. Ophis looked refreshed and even had a slight smile on her face. Issei on the other hand looked like he barely made it out alive. They both walked into the living room in pajamas, sitting down on a table. What's wrong, Issei? You look awfully exhausted. His father asked him, fixing his glasses. It's nothing. The brown-haired boy said, looking at his plate. Is that so? Mr. Hyodo sweat-dropped at the half-hearted answer of his son. Office-chan, do you like it here with us? The girl nodded, while stuffing her face with food. The rest of the dinner was spent in silence, with Issei's parents smiling at the children, Issei slowly getting his energy back, and Ophis eating enough for 4 people. The couple of children was now in Issei's room, Issei in his own bed, and Ophis in a futon placed beside the bed. Let's play again tomorrow, Office-chan. The boy stared at the ceiling. The girl nodded with a smile on her face. It was a shame that Issei couldn't see it. Next day. Issei woke up from the chirping of the birds, rolling to his left side. He hugged his dakimakura tightly and decided to sleep a bit longer. Wait, he didn't have a dakimakura. He opened his eyes to see Ophis in front of him, looking at him. Issei quickly jumped out of the bed, or at least tried it. The girl grabbed his wrist and once again pulled him in a tight embrace. I like being like this. Ophis said it with her eyes closed, rubbing her cheek against Issei's hair. Am I imagining things, or is Office-chan getting more and more clingy? Well, it's a good thing if she's happy, but her expression is the same as ever. Issei thought to himself and closed his eyes. Another 20 minutes passed with the two of them hugging each other. Issei, Office-chan, breakfast is ready. Mrs. Hyodo called the 2 children from below, slowly walking up the stairs. She opened the door and spotted the couple on the bed of her son. Oh my, looks like you two really like each other. To become this close to each other in only one day. She walked up to them and lightly shook Issei's shoulder. Wash your face and come down. You too, Office-chan. The mother left and made her way down. Let's go. Issei wanted to stand up but was pulled down again by Ophis. Office-chan, if we don't go up, we won't get anything to eat. The girl shot up after hearing the word eat and ran to the bathroom. Issei, we need to wash our faces. She took the doorknob in one hand and the hand of the boy in the other. Her eyes have sparkles in them. Just how much does she like food? Good morning, Issei, Office-chan. Did you sleep well? Mr. Hyodo asked the couple once they entered the living room. Yeah, I slept like a stone. The boy answered, but the black head tilted her head. I don't need to sleep. All 3 Hyodos looked shocked about the statement, and the mother of the house crouched down to look the girl in the eyes. That's bad. You should sleep properly. Mrs. Hyodo tried to lecture her, but it didn't go well. I don't need to rest. The woman was troubled about the stubbornness of Ophis, but didn't want to give up. No. You mustn't be awake all the time. If you don't rest like a good girl, then you're not allowed to hug Issei in his sleep. The brown-haired woman said this, resulting in a bright red face from her son, a frown from the blackhead, and her husband raising his eyebrow. Should I ask about the last part? Well, I don't see any harm by her cuddling with Issei. Ophis was deep in thoughts, thinking about the reason why she didn't like the idea of being banned from hugging him. That would be a problem. I shall sleep. Good girl. Issei's mother patted the girl on the head. Now, let's eat. All of them began eating at the same time. Park. Why are you looking like nothing happened when we ran around for an hour straight, Office-chan? Issei asked her, trying to catch his breath. I have infinite power. This is nothing. The girl stated it like it was nothing. Issei wanted to retort, but someone interrupted him. And we would like to have this infinite power. A handsome man dressed in black armor with a cape walked up to them. He had long brown hair that goes to his hips with many bangs covering his right eye. Devil was the only word Ophis gave him as an answer. Yes, that's right. But I'm no ordinary devil. I am the descendant of the great Mag Beelzebub. My name is Shalba Beelzebub. The man exclaimed it while spreading his arms to his sides. Issei walked in front of Ophis and shouted. Who are you? And what do you want from Office-chan? Shalba looked down like he only now registered his existence. Don't talk to me, you filthy human. Shalba waved his left hand and Issei's abdomen was pierced by a beam of light. The boy coughed up blood and collapsed onto the ground. Issei. Ophis tried to run up to her friend but was stopped by the devil who stepped in front of the boy. Now that the nuisance is out of the way, let's go. The man grabbed the wrist of the girl and a strange glowing circle appeared under them. Issei. The blackhead broke free and made her way to the boy. She shook him, but the blood flowed out of the wound like a waterfall. How annoying, I guess I should just pulverize him. Ophis turned her head around and glared at him. The devil took a few steps back, even he wouldn't want to fight against someone like the infinite dragon god. Ophis-chan, he is here for you to get away from here. The boy had lifeless eyes, and his body got colder by the second, but he was still worried about the blackhead. Boy, why are you so worried about that thing? The man looked at the almost corpse of the boy. Did you just call Ophis-chan a thing? He had no energy, but managed to glare at Shalba. Of course, because that's what it is. The Ouroboros dragon god, it's ageless and genderless, but if you look at it from another point of view, then it's nothing more than a giant mass of energy. So, how is it not a thing? Ophis got nervous, even gods feared her. So it wouldn't be strange for Issei to be afraid of her. But even she didn't expect that kind of response. I don't understand complicated stuff, but there are two things I know. First, Ophis-chan is Ophis-chan no matter what, and Issei's heart was beating faster and faster. How can my heart beat this fast when I don't even have the strength to breathe properly? In a moment like this, it's the boy's job to protect the girl. Like the hero in Drag Soapball. His hand shone in a bright green light and was covered in a red metal glove. Boost. The glove shouted a command, and Issei had the strength to stand again, though he was shaky on his legs. I was surprised for a moment, but it's just a twice critical, how disappointing. Shalba kicked the boy into the hole in his stomach, which resulted in him crashing into a tree. Issei. The girl ran up to her friend and tried to heal him. Just come with me already. Shalba grabbed Ophis by her collar. The hole in Issei's abdomen was still present, but only half the size as before. And the second is that I can't let someone like you take Ophis-chan with him. He shouted and charged at the devil. Dragon booster. The glove shouted again, chonging into a gauntlet that covers his whole left forearm. What? Shalba was surprised and let go of the dragon god. It wasn't a twice critical, but one of the 13 long-iness. Issei was now in front of him and struck him in the stomach. HMPH, don't think that this even tickled. He once again tried to kick him, but Issei managed to dodge. Boost. Even if you power up like this, someone like you will never stand a chance against me, a true Mao. The man was too distracted by Issei, so he didn't notice the ball of pitch black energy coming his way. His arm was engulfed by the energy and disappeared. I shall erase you. Even Issei was scared of Ophis with the cold stare she gave the devil. It can't be helped. I would retreat for now. A magic circle appeared beneath him and he disappeared a second before another ball could hit him. The Ouroboros dragon made her way to the boy, put her hands over the wound and started healing him. Ophis-chan, you're incredible. To beat him so easily. Issei made a weak smile and put his hand, still in the gauntlet, on her head. He started to pat her until he was finally completely healed. Reset. A new sound came from his left arm and he lost all strength, collapsing into Ophis' arms. She lifted him up and walked away, carrying him like a princess. At home, the two children were sitting on Issei's bed. The boy rested his head on the lap of the girl, getting patted. Ophis-chan, do you mind explaining what happened there? Issei asked her with closed eyes. He was a devil. You may know them from the Bible, and the thing on your arm is a sacred gear, a power given to humans by heaven. She explained it short and without details, but Issei understood it, more or less. He said something about a longi whatever. Longinus, a sacred gear that can kill gods, and mass. And I have something that great. The brown head looked at the gauntlet with wide eyes. Boosted gear, it's a sacred gear that has a dragon sealed within. The dragon? Issei had sparkles in his eyes. Wait, didn't Shalba call you a dragon too? That's right, Ouroboros dragon, that's me. One of the two strongest existences. She once again showed him the victory sign, at which Issei made a wry smile and scratched his cheek, and the dragon in you is the Welsh dragon, Drag. He is one of the two heavenly dragons. So, Ophis-chan, you said you were one of the two strongest. Then can you please train me? The girl was unsure what to do. It's not like she ever trained someone, so she doesn't know what to do. I can't train you, Issei looked dejected after hearing that. But I can bring you to people that can. Really, he shot up from her lap and hugged her after she nodded. Thanks, Ophis-chan. It's okay. Now, let's sleep. You need to rest. Training will start tomorrow, maybe. Okay, good night. He closed his eyes and snuggled into the bed, again being the Dakimakura of the dragon god. Wait, did she say maybe? Next day. Issei woke up early this day, but the most surprising thing was that he had enough strength to free himself from Ophis' death grip. He finished his breakfast fast and took the portion of the girl into his room. He needed to go up and down 5 times. Ophis-chan, please wake up. Your food will get cold. She was almost like Snow White for someone who doesn't need sleep, but instead of waking up by a kiss, she jumped up from the smell of food and grabbed the first plate. So, you said you would introduce me to someone who would train me. Is that someone also a dragon? The dragon answered, still stuffing food in her mouth. No, you will train with gods and devils. Issei flinched at the mention of devils, but Ophis patted his head. They won't harm you, I promise. I shall protect you. The boy blushed at the rare smile from her and mumbled. Thank you. IsseixOphisxTiamatxHarem. The tall, black-haired woman sat on a veranda drinking tea. It's pretty lonely here when nobody visits me. The woman was dressed in a white and red kimono with a golden obi. She had a silver tiara on her head with a deep blue emerald in it. She was the head goddess of the Shinto religion, Amaterasu, but because of that nobody dared to approach her. It got even worse when she once shot herself in, which resulted in the sun hiding itself. The goddess eyed once again before dropping her tea. What is this pressure? The woman had problems breathing and saw a girl a few feet from her. Who is that? I can't see her clearly. From behind the girl walked a boy up to her and helped her to sit right again. One-chan, are you okay? Does it hurt anywhere? The boy asked her in a worried tone, looking at her with sad eyes. Who is this boy? Why is he unaffected by this enormous power? The girl walked up to the woman and the pressure vanished at once. Shinto-san. Who are you? Amaterasu asked, trying to catch her breath. Ophis the Ouroboros dragon once again had her habit to avoid speaking too much. The Ouroboros dragon? Why are you here? Amaterasu tried to back away, taking Issei with her subconsciously. First, Ophis said it pointing at the breasts of the Shinto god. Don't suffocate Issei. Said goddess looked down to see her pressing the head of the boy into her chest. Sorry. She let go of Issei, who had a bright red face. How innocent cute Ophis's eyebrow twitched in annoyance. Second, I want you to train him. The goddess turned her head from Ophis to the boy and concentrated. Now that I look more clearly, his body is not purely human, but why? If he had a sacred gear it would explain his soul, but not his body. She once again faced a dragon god. Who is this boy? Amaterasu asked her, patting the head of the boy. Sekiruyute the goddess gasped at it, and Issei tilted his head. One-chan, what's wrong? Issei gripped the sleeve of the kimono and looked at her with puppy eyes. So cute. Amaterasu blushed slightly and pulled him into a hug. Don't worry, Ouroboros. I will take good care of him. Ophis pulled Issei out of her bear hug and hugged him herself. Good, I shall bring him to you another day. The Shinto sun pouted at the possessiveness of the dragon, but let it go, she was still afraid of her strength. Bye-bye, One-chan. Issei waved at her with a smile. Bye-bye. She happily waved back. Issei would later regret calling one of the Shinto trinity One-chan. Underworld. Another black-haired woman sat in her room watching a mahou shoujo anime. She is dressed in magical girl's clothing in pink and black, with a magic wand in her hand and a hat on top of her head. Her twin tails swayed up and down because of her being so excited. Leviathan, a monotonous voice called out to her, startling the woman. Whoa, where did you come from? The girl tilted her head. Takamagahara. No, that's not what I meant. Wait, Takamagahara. I have a favor to ask of you. Ophis ignored what the woman said and resumed. Please, help training, Issei. She said and put the boy in front of her. A mahou shoujo, Issei said in awe, resulting in sparkles in Seraphol's eyes. That's right. I, Seraphol Leviathan, am the mahou shoujo of the underworld, Miracle Leviathan. Leviathan stuck her tongue out and winked at him. So, about my favor. The dragon didn't like the fact that she was ignored. Ah, sorry. You want me to train this boy? Why? Ophis looked down to Issei and pulled him a bit closer. Beelzebub could come for revenge. Bakuja-chan. Seraphol was surprised to hear the title of her friend, but the girl shook her head. No, not him. What do you? The devil took a moment before she realized what she meant. Okay, I will help, but I can only do basic training and teach him ice magic. That's good enough. Everything is okay then. Seraphol once again winked at Issei. Can I leave Issei in your care for a while? Ophis asked the mag. I don't mind, but what are you going to do? I will ask a few Greek gods for help. Ah, I understand. They can be really annoying. The devil made a wry laugh and took out a DVD. Issei-kun, was it? Let's watch this together until she gets back. It was a DVD from the anime Magical Girl Milky Spiral 7. Issei nodded, waving at the dragon. Bye-bye, Ophis-chan. The girl gave him a small smile. I would be back right away, Issei. The girl vanished in a cloud of black energy. Wait, Ophis, like the Ouroboros dragon god. Issei was startled by the sudden outburst. Yeah, that's what she said. Seraphol shuddered by the thought of enraging her. I need to be careful around her. Oh, Issei-kun has sparkles in his eyes. How cute is this? Maybe a chance for me to make him a mahou shoujo fan. I will have a friend with the same hobby. She got pumped up and walked behind Issei, lifting him up and putting him down on her lap again. Leviathan-san? The boy was puzzled about the action. Don't worry, it's more comfortable this way, right? She said, resting her chin on his head, and just called me Sarah Leviathan. Issei was unsure about calling an adult Tan, but let it go. Then, Sarah-san. Sarah pouted like a small child. Drop the honorifics. They watched anime for 3 hours straight before Ophis came and took Issei back home. Issei was in his and Ophis room looking into a mirror. He is wearing a black blazer over a white long-sleeved dress shirt with black highlights and a black ribbon on the collar, matching black pants and brown dress shoes. It was the typical boys' uniform for Kuo Academy, the school Issei will attend from now on. I can't say why, but it doesn't sit well with me. He grumbled in his thoughts and grabbed a red t-shirt, putting the white dress shirt and the blazer over it, leaving it unbuttoned. Yeah, that's better. He took his bag and walked down to meet up with Ophis. She was already eating, getting a second, fifth serving. The boy took the seat next to her. Good morning, Mom, Ophis-chan. His father was away working, so it was only the three of them. His mother smiled at him, but his friend turned her head away. Is she in a bad mood? Well, she was against me going to school, so I guess it can't be helped. The dragon got really possessive and overprotective after the incident with Shalba. There were only a few people who were allowed to be alone with Issei. First would be Amaterasu, the Shinto goddess of the sun. She had a motherly aura whenever he was around, but was also very clingy and spoiled. The second one would be Seraphol Leviathan, one of the 4 great Mahu and a Mahu Shoujo fan. They would often watch anime after the training, with Seraphol, now because Issei is taller, sitting on his lap. Other exceptions would be the Greek goddesses Athena and Styx. Athena was his tutor, and Ophis liked Styx because of her silent nature. By the way, Zeus is forbidden from seeing Issei because he once tried training him by throwing lightning at him. The only others were Surzix Lucifer and his wife Graphia, Ajuka Beelzebub, and the Shinto goddess of the moon, Tsukiyomi. Issei finished his breakfast before he noticed. Okay, I will go now. I will see you after school, Ophis-chan. He patted her head, making her close her eyes, and smiling. She's really like a small animal. As long as she doesn't go into older sister mode. Issei. Kuo Academy. The boy walked past the gate, sighing in relief. It took me a week to assure Ophis-chan that I won't get in trouble, and now I'm already stalked on my first day. He noticed the presence of a fallen angel when he was on a bridge. It wasn't hostile, but he still had a bad feeling about it. Surzix-sama and Sarah-san said that their little sisters are in this school, but they didn't tell them about me, so it should be alright. Issei was now in front of his classroom, waiting for his teacher to call him. Hey, I know this is a bit sudden, but we will have 2 new classmates. Come in. Issei opened the door and stepped in. Wait, 2. Pleased to meet you, my name is Hyodo Issei. He said and gave a polite bow. Pleased to meet you, my name is Amano Yuma. He looked to his left side to see the fallen angel he felt before. She was a young, attractive woman around the same age as Issei with long black hair down to her hips and violet eyes. She wore the typical uniform for girls, which consists of a white long-sleeved button-down shirt with a black ribbon on her shirt collar worn under a black shoulder cape and a matching button-down corset, a magenta skirt with white accents, and brown dress shoes over white crew-length socks. Wow, she looks like a model. Man, she's hot. The boys happily welcomed the new girl in their class. The girls squealed when they saw Issei. He's a new prince. Look at his eyes, they are so innocent. He's like a little child. Prince? Issei sweat dropped at the comments and took his seat. He was sitting between a bald boy and a boy with glasses. Hey, Hyodo-kun. What is your favorite part of a woman? Glasses asked him with a perverted grin on his face. Ice tilted his head. My favorite part? What do you mean? The perverted duo wanted to answer him, but the girls dragged them off and started to beat them up. Don't infect Hyodo-kun with your pervert disease. He thought that he shouldn't get involved with them and concentrated on the lessons. He remembered the training he did with Amaterasu. She teaches him fire manipulation and how to use her black flames. He can even recover energy in the sunlight, although only very slowly. She was almost as overprotective as Ophis, but she was way more spoiled. Issei is now 17 and she still insists that he calls her Wani-chan or at least Amani-chan. He shook his head and turned his attention back to the blackboard. After school. The boy walked out of his classroom until he heard his name. Hyodo-kun. The female transfer student walked over to him, waving her hand. Amano-san, right. Can I help you somehow? Said girl stopped in front of him, blushing and playing with her fingers. Are you seeing someone at the moment? Amano blushed even more. Seeing someone? Ice was confused by the question, since he mostly trained or learned and never had a relationship with a girl. No, I don't. Amano's face lit up immediately and she grabbed his hand. Is that so? Thank goodness, sorry. She let go of the hands. If that's so, would you please go out with me? Bowing down, she asked him. I don't mind, Issei was still unsure what to do. Really great, then can we meet this Sunday at the station? They exchanged phone numbers via infrared and Yuma ran away as soon as they did that. She's a strange one. Issei's room. Ophis was playing a video game, eating snacks every now and then. The Hyodo residence was a large 6-story house with 3 large basements. Surzik's Lucifer made the reconstruction saying that it will be necessary in the future. Issei walked into a room on the 2nd floor, spotting a girl sitting on his bed. Ophis-chan, I know you like it in here, but your room is exactly the same. He put his school bag down and laid down next to the girl. Issei, play with me. Ophis handed him a controller. Yeah, but don't forget that Stick-san will come later. The goddess liked Issei because he is not afraid of her. He even hugged her in his sleep, which resulted in Ophis not letting him go for 5 hours. Don't worry, I won't forget it. She pouted and sat down on his lap as soon as he rose up. The Cult Research Club. President, is something wrong? A girl with a buxom figure around 1 year older than Issei with very long black hair and violet eyes asked. Her hair is tied in a long ponytail, reaching all the way down to her legs with 2 strands sticking out from the top and sloping backwards, with an orange ribbon keeping it in place. Akeno. No, I was just lost in thoughts. A beautiful young woman who appears to be in her late teens with white skin, blue eyes, and a buxom figure answered. Her most distinctive feature is her long beautiful crimson hair that reaches down to her thighs, with a single hair strand sticking out from the top. Her hair also has loose bangs covering her forehead and side bangs framing her face. The boy who transferred into the 2nd year today, do you know something about him? Akeno served the Reed a cup of tea, tilting her head at the question. Riaz, are you interested in our Kohai? All I know is his name, Hyodo Issei-kun. Riaz put a chess piece on the board that was on the table. Who knows? Checkmate, I will take a shower. She walked off to the shower inside the club room, starting to undress on the way, and here I thought I made the problem more difficult this time. Hakamagahara 10 years ago. Issei was watching one of his 2 teachers, Tsukiyomi, drawing a complex structure made out of 6 magic circles connected into a hexagon form onto the ground. The structure glowed in a light blue and silver shine once the goddess stood in the middle of the completed magic formula. Issei-kun, watch closely. This is one of my strongest barriers, 6-fold moon prison. In about 6 or 7 years you will be able to use this. I want you to read the flow of the energy. She said it, and light pillars shore up from the ground. The gap between the pillars was closed up by a wall of 2 layers of energy. The walls looked like they were made out of crystals, shining in blue, silver, and purple, and Issei-kun, what do you say? She turned around to see the boy looking at her with wide eyes. Beautiful, you're sparkling and shining. Tsukiyomi blushed at the comment from the little boy but tried to cover it up. So, what do you say? The boy tilted his head. It looks really strong, but doesn't it take too long to prepare it? The goddess was surprised at the sound argument of her pupil. He's a lot smarter than I thought. The barrier dissolved and his tutor walked out of it to pat his head. That's right, Issei-kun. It's used to defend something, but you need to set it up first. You normally use it to guard a shrine or fortress. Issei closed his eyes, thinking and enjoying the patting. Tsukiyomi-sama, do you use it to defend your shrine? Yeah, that's right. But I'm using an even more complex version, since humans and other beings with my permission need to be able to get into the shrine's ground. Wow, Tsukiyomi-sama is awesome. The goddess again blushed at the sudden praise and was glad he couldn't see her face. But I'm still better. Tsukiyomi's face hardened as soon as she heard the voice. Wani-sama, what business do you have with me? Amaterasu walked over to them, her smile never leaving her face. Don't be like that. I just came to get ice. So, ice came here. Amaterasu crouched down and lured the boy to her. The goddess of the moon grabbed him from behind and pulled him closer. Issei-kun is training with me for the whole day, Wani-sama. Tsukiyomi, you shouldn't squeeze him so tight, your bones will hurt him. Said woman had a bright red face. I'm not that flat. The black-haired woman had a triumphant smile on her face. The goddess of the moon had long silver hair, crystal clear gray eyes, and pale white skin. She was dressed in a blue and black yukata with a red obi. When Amaterasu is a curvy woman, then Tsukiyomi is a tall little girl. Ice. You want to come with Wani-chan, right? He remembered the incident last week where he said that he likes Ophis more than her. The goddess hid herself in her room, Tsukiyomi-sama. I think I should go with her before I end up as a hugging pillow again. Okay, even I would be afraid of that. What are you two whispering about? Ice, let's go. The blackhead grabbed the hand of the boy and walked off to her veranda. "Hey, why don't you ask our Oberos to let you stay overnight?" she asked him, handing him a cup of tea. "So I'm still going to end up as her Dakimakura. She's a lot like Ophis-chan in that way." Present. A girl in a pitch black one-piece appeared in front of a room. She had long black hair down to her hips and amber-colored eyes. "Issei, I'm here to play." The girl walked in and jumped into Issei's arms. "Stick-san, you're in an awfully good mood today." The boy started to pat her and she pushed Ophis from his lap to sit down there. The dragon didn't like the fact that her favorite place was taken from her. "River god, that's my place." The goddess simply ignored her. "Ice, what do you want to play? Video games or a board game?" She was swaying her legs with a smile on her face. Ophis's body was engulfed in pitch black energy, startling Issei. "No," she entered older sister mode. Out of the energy came a fully grown Ophis with a figure like one of the 3 One-Isamas of Kuo Academy, Himejima Ikeno. "Issei." She reached out to him and pressed the back of his head into her bosom. "She's a lot like Amaterasu-sama in this form. I sometimes wonder if they're sisters." "Wait, that's besides the point." The dragon patted his head and glared at Styx. Both of them stared at each other, Styx still on his lap. "I can almost see the sparks." "That's..." His table glowed in a crimson light. "Ophis, the table, the table." They stopped their catfight and looked over to the light. "Lucifer, what could he want?" The light faded and the image of a man with crimson hair stood on top of the table. "You're as popular as ever, Issei-kun." The man gave him an amused smile. "Sir Zixama, is something wrong? It's rare for you to suddenly call us." The man looked to the side avoiding eye contact. "Well, I wanted to ask whenever you already met my little sister or not." "No, but I heard about her in school. She is one of the 3 One-Isamas and the president of the occult research club. As expected of my little sister. So, could you do me a favor?" "A favor?" The boy tilted his head and the 2 women narrowed their gazes. "I originally wanted you to join her peerage, but I guess I can forget that after that incident. So could you please help her train them if she asks you?" Underworld 7 years ago. Issei was inside Seraphol's room, sleeping after training and another anime marathon. He rolled to his left so that he is now on his back. Feeling cold, he wakes up to see the Mau standing in front of him, spreading her arms. He looked down to see several chess pieces put on his chest. "Oh, Issei-chan, you woke up. Don't worry, I will finish this real quick." She said it cheerfully, giving him a wink. "No, Sarah-san, what are you doing to me? Aren't this evil pieces?" The girl was as carefree as ever. "Yeah, I wanted you in my peerage." Seraphol's smile suddenly faded when she felt a wave of killing intent. She slowly turned around. "Ophis-chan, why are you here?" The Mau, the only one who calls the dragon-chan aside from Issei, had cold sweat all over her body. "Issei always sleeps with me, so we went to sleep together." Ophis made an innocent statement with the most scary expression the other 2 ever saw. Issei gathered his courage and moved forward. All of the killing intent vanished as soon as Issei put his hand on top of her head. Memo to myself, always have Ice-chan around or I could die. Present. "I don't mind helping her, but you said she doesn't know me, right?" The Redeed made a smile at the comment. "Ah, you don't need to worry about that. I think that you have a great appeal to supernatural beings, especially female ones." Styx made a wry smile, while Ophis once again pulled him to her. "Well, I don't want to disturb your time with the 2 of them. See you some other time, Issei-kun," he said and faded away. "Since he is away now, let's play Issei." The Greek handed him a controller to play the game Ophis was playing before. The dragon god took the controller out of her hand and put her hands around the boy. "I will play with him." They started another catfight, rolling around on his bed. "Please get along already." The complaints of the boy were unheard. Next day. Issei only slept for 3 hours since the other 2 wouldn't stop their fighting. He walked into his classroom and searched for a certain blackhead. "Where is Amano-san? Maybe she's late." But to be late on her second day, the boy sat down and let a tired sigh out when it suddenly got black. "Who am I?" girl said it in a cheerful voice. "Why are you so happy, Amano-san?" "You call me Yuma, and of course I'm happy. We're having a date on Sunday, remember?" "Yeah, I know." Issei tilted his head. "Is that really a reason to be so happy?" "I will ask Sarah-san what you do on a date later." Yuma wanted to say something, but the homeroom teacher entered the classroom. "Okay, take your seats." He didn't pay attention since he already knew most of it. Having a Greek goddess of knowledge as a tutor is really an advantage. The bell rang and Yuma walked over to Issei, but someone was faster and called him before she had the chance to talk to him. "Nice to meet you, Hyodo Issei-kun. I'm Kiba and I was asked by president to bring you to the club." A handsome young man with short blonde hair, gray eyes and a mole under his left eye made a polite smile. Nobody wants you around, you annoying devil. Don't interrupt my time with Issei-kun. The fallen angel glared at him, but he completely ignored it. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. Do you want me to go now? Issei, having noticed that Kiba is a devil, was sure to answer the call. I think I saw the Gremory crest faintly when he reached out to shake my hand. So that means I will meet Ria's Gremory senpai. No, I just wanted to inform you that I'm going to get you after school. Is that alright? Yeah, I don't mind. The two boys smiled at each other and Kiba left. But Issei didn't get a moment for himself. Issei-kun, let's eat together. His girlfriend held a big bento in her hand and ran over to him. The boy looked confused about the size but decided to not point it out. She slammed the box down and unfolded the 3 smaller boxes onto the table. Now, say. Yuma moved a slice of pork near his mouth. She can't be serious. Getting fed is really embarrassing. He remembered an incident 8 years ago when Ophis saw a couple feeding each other. She would mimic most of the activities from couples. Even now, she insists on feeding him sometimes. Come on, say. The girl made a cute pout and shoved the food closer to his face. Issei could feel the glares from his classmates, envious ones from the girls and hateful ones from the males. Eat more, you need it. After school. Like promised, Kiba met Issei after the last lesson ended to take him to the clubroom. He knocked onto the door twice. President, I brought Hyodo-kun. He said as he entered. Thank you, Yudo. Issei entered the room after him, but he could hear the sound of a shower. A shower in a clubroom, and why would she use it now when she's the one who called me? She's definitely Sirs Exam's little sister. A woman with black hair tied in a ponytail handed the woman in the shower a towel. Thank you, Akeno. Sorry to make you wait, Hyodo Issei-kun. After 5 minutes of drying and dressing, Ria sat down on the couch. I don't mind. So Gremory senpai, why did you call me? She had an amused smile on her face. Say Issei-kun, do you believe in the existence of supernatural beings? Yeah, I do. He took a step back. I have a bad feeling about this. 4 pairs of wings popped out of the backs of the 4 devils. Then it is simple. I am Ria's Gremory, a devil, and this is my peerage. My queen Himejima Akeno. She pointed to the girl with the ponytail, who bowed in return. My rook Taoju Kaneko. Kaneko is a petite girl around 15 years with white hair and hazel eyes. The front of her hair has 2 long bangs going past her shoulders and several loose bangs hanging over her forehead, while the back has a short bob cut. She also wears a black cat-shaped hair clip on both sides of her hair. She wears the Kuo Academy girls' school uniform without the shoulder cape. The rook gave him a nod and resumed eating snacks. She reminds me of Ophis-chan. I think we will get along. Ria's resumed her monologue, whenever he listened or not, and you already know my knight, Kiba Yudo. The 2 boys smiled at each other and gave a nod, and I would like you, Hyodo Issei-kun, to join us. The Redeed reached her hand out to him. I feel honored, but I just can't say yes when you ask me out of the blue. Of course, you don't have to decide now. I just wanted you to know your possibilities. Okay, I will think about it. Now if you will excuse me. Issei made a polite bow and left the room. Akeno made her way to her king with a cup of tea. Looks like it didn't go too well, Ria's. She had her trademark smile. I can't believe he rejected it immediately, but I won't give up. I want this boy. The Redeed looked like a small child, thinking of a way to convince her parents to buy her a new toy. Kaneko, please follow him secretly. Find out everything about him and keep an eye on the fallen angel, too. She could try to make him join their side. Said girl nodded and went off to tail her senpai with a stack of sweets in her arms. The Odo residence. The Ouroboros dragon was in the kitchen snooping around the shelves to find some sweets. She was tiptoeing on a chair until she heard the front door. I'm him. He was interrupted by a blackhead tackling him in the stomach. Issei, welcome home. The girl rubbed her cheeks on him. There is only one reason Ophis-chan would be so affectionate. He took the bag beside his school bag and gave it to the dragon. Here, I brought you new sweets. It was a ritual that Issei would bring cookies or donuts back home when she already ate everything. I love ice. Ice is the best. He was unsure about the statement because her expression didn't change and her attention was fully on the bag. Alright, let's go into my room and play a bit. Ophis halted in her tracks and turned around. What's wrong, Ophis-chan? The last time you were so nice was when the Shinto sun hugged you for a whole weekend. She stared at him. I was invited to a date, so I won't be here Sunday. The dragon walked off with a pout. Please wait, Ophis-chan. Why are you angry? She turned around with a sullen face. I'm not angry. Ophis-chan. That night, the Ouroboros dragon god slept in her room for the first time in 7 years. Issei was in front of a fountain, looking at his wristwatch. A young woman with black hair came running, waving her hand. Issei-kun, she ran up to him and gave him a smile. Sorry to make you wait. No, I just arrived here a few minutes ago. She linked arms with him and walked off. We still have time before the movie, so do you want to go shopping? That's fine by me. Do you want to buy something specific, Yuma-san? The boy asked with a slight red face. She's close. Issei was used to girls getting close to him, but her face was too close. No, I just want to do a little bit of window shopping. She hummed happily until she thought back to last night. The abandoned church. 5 people were inside the building, talking about their plans from now on. A middle-aged looking man with short black hair and dark blue eyes. His attire consisted of a pale violet trench coat over a white dress shirt with a matching ascot, black pants and shoes, and a black fedora. The Kabiel-sama said, we have to extract the sacred gear of a former nun, right? Why would he want it? He said he doesn't have an interest in them like Azazel-sama. The tall and buxom woman with long, navy blue hair that obscured her right eye and brown eyes looked at him in annoyance. Her attire consisted of a violet, trench coat-like top with a wide collar, a matching miniskirt, and black-heeled shoes. The trench coat top was open at her chest, giving view to her breasts and cleavage. She also wore a gold necklace around her neck. It doesn't matter, right? All we have to do is get it. A little girl spoke up. She made a fool out of you. Serves you right, don't Issei. The girl had blonde hair styled into twintails and blue wore a gothic Lolita attire, which consisted of a black Lolita dress with white frills, a large black bow on the front, and a green jewel embedded on the collar, white thigh-high socks, and black shoes. She also wore a large black bow on top of her hair. Be a quiet midget. The little girl shouted. It's middled, not midget. Rainer, why did we bring the old man with us? Both women sighed in unison. It's never boring with you around. So, fallen bitch, wanna do something good with me? The young man with short white hair and red eyes glanced at the fallen angel in the Kuo girl's uniform. Be silent, Fried. So, what is the name of this nun? The one who answered was Rainer. Her name is Asi Argento. Present. Uma-san, are you feeling unwell? You look kind of gloomy. Issei asked her, showing his concern on his face. He's so sweet. Why is Fried on our side and not Issei-kun? Maybe I can convince him to join us. I can feel he is no normal human. She thought to herself and showed him her best smile. It's nothing, let's enjoy our date. She squeezed his arm a bit stronger. They walked around the shopping district with Issei buying a few things for her. The thing she liked the most was a necklace of 2 black wings crossing each other. It was time for the movie and they made their way to the cinema. They watched a romantic comedy which had a length of 2 hours. With crepes in their hands, they walked through a park and sat down on a bench. I had a lot of fun today, Issei-kun. Yuma smiled at him. Can we go on a date again? She asked him with puppy dog eyes. Of course we can, I also had a lot of fun today. The girl blushed and stood up. She mumbled a quiet thank you, kissed him on the cheek, and ran off. Issei touched his cheek absent-mindedly. The Odo residence. The brown-haired boy walked into the kitchen. He found a plate with onigiri and a notice. Office-chan, and I already ate. He took the plate and made his way to his room. Light shined out of the room. A little girl with black hair, gray eyes, and pointed ears sat on his bed, playing video games. I'm back, Office-chan. She trotted to him and hugged him. She's so affectionate. So her bad mood improved. You don't smell like me, I don't like that. Office told him with a pout. Her mood didn't improve at all. Sorry. She hugged him even tighter. I read about it in a book. I will mark ice with my scent. Another strange idea. Where does she get them from anyway? Ice panicked a little. Office-chan, why don't we play a game? Okay, she was reluctant at first, but let go. They played for hours with the dragon sitting on the lap of the boy. She didn't separate from him and even went into the bath with him. Next day. Issei didn't see the Ouroboros dragon when he woke up. He only found a piece of paper next to him. I'm in the underworld. Office. What could she be doing there? Ice ate his breakfast and walked to school. On his way to school, he noticed 2 presences. One was that of a fallen angel, but a different one from Yuma, and the other one is a familiar devil. Taoju Kaneko, did Jermuri-senpai tell her to follow me? I think I felt her presence on my date with Yuma-san, too. Issei then entered the school building and his classroom, but he couldn't sense his girlfriend anywhere. Lunch break. The brown-haired boy sat on his seat, eating his bento, when suddenly the perverted duo popped up in front of him. Yo, Hyodo. We will hold a gentleman's meeting today. Do you want to come? Glasses asked him. Gentleman's meeting? What is that? Before they could answer, 2 girls grabbed them by their collars and threw them out of the window. When I remember correctly, then these 2 are from the kendo club. The girls walked over to him and asked him with bright red faces. Did they infect you with their perversity, Hyodo-kun? One of the girls, Cadis, looked at him worried. You said something similar the last time too. What do you mean by that? He's so pure. The two girls glanced at each other. Don't worry about it, but you can't get close to these things down there, okay Hyodo-kun? Murayama pointed out of the window, where the perverted duo was thrown out, with a serious look on her face. Understood. After school. A girl around 15 to 16 years old with long blonde hair and green eyes was walking around a park aimlessly. Her hair flows all the way down to her back, with split bangs over her forehead and a single strand sticking out from the top, sloping backwards. Her attire consists of a dark teal nun outfit with light blue accents, a white veil over her head with light blue accents, a brown satchel slung on her right hip, and brown boots with black straps in an X-shaped pattern. She also wears a silver cross necklace around her neck. The girl tried to take another step but tripped over nothing. She made a cute sound, landing face first onto the ground with her butt high in the air. How did she manage to land like this? A boy around the same age halted in front of her and reached out to her. Are you alright? The blonde was extremely happy and grabbed his hand. Thank you very much. Finally someone I can talk with. Issei looked at her again. Someone she can talk with. Now that I take a closer look, she seems like a foreigner. Thank God, I have the charm from Athena-sama. He touched a ring engraved with a lot of runes hanging around his neck. Let me help you with your luggage. The girl saw that her clothes were scattered around and panicked a little. Thank you very much. She even blushed a little. They put away her belongings and the girl bowed down. Again, thank you very much. My name is Asia Argento, please call me Asia. Pleased to meet you. I'm Hyodo Issei, just call me Ice. He didn't know why, but he was drawn to this girl. By the way, why are you here with a suitcase? I was appointed to the church in this town. A church? There is only one in this town. I can take you there if you want. Asia once again smiled and bowed down. Ah really, thank you, Issei-san. She's saying that a lot. Issei took her hand and walked off. Abandoned church. Rainer was sitting on a window ledge and looked outside. This nun sure is late. Issei-kun. Why is he here? The person next to him can't be the nun. The fallen angel panicked at the sight, but her face hardened when she heard the voice of a man behind her. So that's Asia Argento. Hey, isn't the brat next to her the boy Rainer is fooling around with? Two other women entered the room. He's quite cute. The first one was a little girl. I thought you like carefree guys like Azazel-sama. The second one was a buxom woman. He is carefree in his own way. Wait, forget what I said. What is he doing here? Yuma shouted with a bright red face. Calm down, he probably just showed her the way. I thought she can't speak Japanese. Well, whatever. The man started talking to himself. Issei and Asia were still walking hand in hand. He heard about the story of the girl next to him. There was once a girl who was abandoned by her parents and found in front of a church. When she was older it was discovered that she had the power to heal others, so she was brought to the church in the Vatican. She was praised as a holy maiden and everyone looked up to her. But the girl was lonely, nobody wanted to be close to her. After all, humans fear things they don't understand. Although she was lonely, she was still satisfied with it. She had the love of God, and that was enough. But her life ended quickly. She came across a wounded devil, even though she knew she shouldn't do it, she still healed him. Unfortunately, a member of the church saw it. The girl was labeled a heretic and lost her only home. Asia had teary eyes while telling this story. Issei wanted to say something, but was interrupted. We're here. Oh, you're right. He saw a rundown building in front of him. She's going to live there and with fallen angels. If it's okay with you, would you like to come in and drink tea with me? Sorry, but I need to go home. Ice gave her an apologizing look. It would be bad if Ophis-chan's mood gets even worse. Is that so? She was really depressed. Don't worry, I can come to visit you. He patted her head. Thank you very much. Asia gave him another bow. Okay then, see you another time. Yes, Issei-san. The Odo residence. Ophis was sitting next to Issei, eating dinner. The two of them were both gluttons and ate 4 or 5 servings. Issei, how is your high school life? Mr. Hyodo asked his son. It's great, I have made a few friends and the lessons are easy to understand. He answered it while stuffing his face with food. Ophis pinched him in the side. My, I look like Ophis-chan is jealous. His mother giggled at the sight of her 2 children. Now that I think about it, you said you want to go on vacation with Issei again, right? The woman asked the girl in the black gothic Lolita dress. All she did in return was to nod. Surzix Lucifer used his devil powers to brainwash Issei's parents a bit. A new house and the absence of her son would otherwise be too suspicious. They went into their Issei's room after finishing dinner. Will we go away again? Where are we going this time? The couple was in their regular position, where Ophis was on his lap. Heaven, the seraphs Michael and Gabriel want to meet you. Heaven? I always wanted to see an angel. Issei exclaimed happily, unconsciously pulling her closer. The Ouroboros dragon wanted to snuggle closer when suddenly the window opened. A certain Retit entered through it and looked shocked at the couple. Issei-kun, so you were this kind of person. Riaz took a few steps back. What do you mean? Aren't you a lolican? The Retit asked, but Yus only tilted his head in return. What is a lolican? Don't teach weird stuff. Ice, don't pay attention to what she's saying. Aren't you a little bit rude? Ria's eyebrow twitched in annoyance. Gremory-senpai, why are you here? Said girl blushed a little. I was curious why I couldn't teleport in here. Issei-kun, why does your family have a mansion? Lot happened. Is that the only reason why you're here? Ice wanted her to go. She's this close to Ophis-chan, but she hasn't noticed what she is. Could it have something to do with her visit to the underworld this morning? Well, yeah. Then, leave already. The Ouroboros dragon was silent for long enough. She hated it when somebody interrupted her playtime with her childhood friend. I understand, I will leave. Issei-kun, please think about my offer, okay? She gave him a smile and jumped out of the window. Ice made a sigh and turned his attention back to the TV, only to see that Ophis still had the game paused. Ophis-chan. What offer was she talking about? She was glaring at him. Gremory-senpai wanted me to join her peerage. There was killing intent emitted from her as soon as she heard the word peerage. Whoa, she's still angry about the incident with Sarah-san. Anyway, let's play. He said it and hugged her even tighter. For some reason, it would always calm her down. Now that I think about it, why did you decide to visit the underworld? I got a device from Azazel to suppress my power. She showed him a bracelet around her left wrist. So that's the reason why Gremory-senpai didn't discover your identity. Yeah, Ice, an enemy on the left. Got it. Next day. Kaneko was again tailing, stalking her senpai on his way to school. She did it for a whole week and was surprised about the amount of contact with the supernatural. The nun, a fallen angel, and of course devils, all three factions gathered around him, and she's quite fond of him because he always gives her sweets when he meets her. Issei always has sweets in his pockets because of Ophis. But every time she tries to start a conversation with him, the fallen angel interrupts them. Issei entered the school building and chonged his shoes. She did the same and went to her own classroom. How long do I need to observe him? The whitehead wondered and sat down in her place. Good morning, Hyodo-kun. The two kendo girls greeted him as soon as he entered the classroom. Good morning, Kata-san, Murayama-san. He looked around only to see the perverted duo beat up in a corner. What did they do this time? Issei-kun, his girlfriend, Amano Yuma, the fallen angel, walked up to him. Yuma-san, good morning. They chatted about a few things until their homeroom teacher entered. It was lunch break and Kiba Yudo once again came and visited Issei. The two boys got along and the girls squealed every time they were together. Yuma often sat with them and tried to hog her boyfriend. Issei-kun, do you have plans for today? Yeah, I promised someone to meet up with her. Is it someone from this school? No, it's a nun, her name is Asi Argento. The two boys talked while eating. Issei noticed that both of them flinched at the last sentence. Yudo at the mention that she is a nun and Yuma when she heard the name. So Yuma-san belonged to the fallen angels in the abandoned church. From her reaction I can guess that they are planning something. He thought to himself. Akiba-kun, why did you ask? President wanted me to bring you to the clubroom again. He gave him a wry smile. Is that so? Ice shivered a bit. She's strangely fixated on me. Ah, that was the bell. See you, Issei-kun. Kiba gave a polite bow. He is not hiding his dislike of Yuma-san. That's right, Yuma-san. What is it, Issei-kun? I had a lot of fun last Sunday. So I wanted to ask you if we could go on another date. The fallen angel blushed heavily. Since the incident at the abandoned church, I'm really conscious of him. Of course, how about Thursday? That sounds good. Park. The blonde girl sat on a bench, waiting for Issei. Sorry, did you wait long? The boy ran up to her. Don't worry about it. They wanted to go when the girl suddenly heard the cry of a little boy. She walked over to him and crouched down in front of him. A green light was emitted from her hands. Issei stood next to Asia when he spotted that the boy's leg was injured. The light shined on his knee and the wound started to close itself. These rings, could it be that they are a healing sacred gear? The injury vanished and the boy stopped crying. Now, everything is alright. Boys shouldn't cry so fast. Asia gave him a bright smile. Thank you, Wani-chan. The mother of the boy saw everything and dragged him off. Asya, the just now. It's a blessing I received from God. So it really was a sacred gear. But from her story it can even heal devils and probably fallen angels as well. So Asya, what do you want to do? I don't really know. Is that so? Then leave it to me, I'm an expert at having fun. Issei was pumped up. He grabbed her hand and ran to the shopping mall. Issei dragged her to all kinds of places. The game arcade, where he won her a plush mouse. Various shops, doing window shopping, and now they're at a fast food restaurant, getting their hamburgers. The boy was stuffing his face with the food, but when he finished the half of the third, he noticed Asya only staring at hers. Asya, what's wrong? She looked a little bit embarrassed. I don't know how to eat these. It looks like she was too focused on her hamburger, so she didn't see how he ate his. He giggled a bit. Okay, princess. Allow me to teach you how to eat this dish. He took a new one, unwrapped the packaging, and took a big bite. She tried to do the same, but got sauce on her cheek. Really now he looked at her like an older brother or father and cleaned her face with a tissue. Thank you. Asya blushed a little. It's like a dream. What do you mean? I already told you about myself, right? Ice remembered the story she told him and got a bit sad. Yeah. My dream was to make many friends. Buying books together, going to buy flowers together, and chatting with each other. It was that kind of dream. She was depressed and he started to pat her head. Issei-san. I don't know about the flower thing, but you can do the other things with me. We are friends, right? He smiled at her and her eyes started to tear up. Yes. They went to do the things Asya wanted to do and watched a movie. Issei walked her back to the church again. I had a lot of fun today. It was fun for me too. The nun had a red face and played with her fingers. If it's okay with you, can I ask you to meet me again, sometimes? Of course we are friends after all. He gave her the biggest smile he could afford and a thumb up. Ask me anytime. Asya's face lit up immediately and she smiled back. Thank you very much, Issei-san. She ran into the church, squeezing her stuffed animal. Now then, why would they gather this many exorcists here? That's definitely suspicious. The Odo residence. Ophis listened to Issei's story, enjoying the donuts he bought for her. Ice, you said you liked her the moment you saw her, right? She wasn't angry or jealous, since her curiosity got the better of her. Yeah, I was strangely drawn to her. That nun has an unbelievable high affinity for dragons. Even I started to like her. Both were surprised when they heard the voice from Issei's left arm. Greg. It's been a while since you last talked to us. Well, I don't want to disturb your time with Ophis. Anyway, Ophis, once you meet her, you will understand what we mean. The Welsh dragon said it, while Ice's hand glowed green with each word. Is that so? Do you have an idea what they could be planning, Drake? He glanced down on his hand. They're probably after her sacred gear, but I don't have a clue what they could be trying. Is that so? What about you, Ophis-chan? Said Dragon God only shook her head. So neither of you has a clue. What to do, Drake, Ophis-chan, is that? Yeah, it's a barrier. It's not strong, but you should check it out anyway. A barrier in the middle of the town is suspicious. Issei, bring back some sweets. Ophis wasn't worried at all, which made him wonder where the overprotective side of her was right now. Well, it's a very sloppy barrier, so it's no wonder. Issei left the house and started to run to the house. He used a few shortcuts through back streets and climbed a house to jump from roof to roof. It doesn't look like it was made out of demonic power. Could it be from one of the exorcists? He jumped down and landed in front of an ordinary house. When he stretched out his hand, sparks appeared between his hand and the air. This is the right one. Okay, let's go. He pulled his left arm back and it was engulfed in a red light. Boost. Thanks for watching this video. This movie is over. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below and turn on that bell notification. And also check out the playlist that I have created and enjoy. Link is in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.